Hello and welcome to the Sands of Time review channel. It is your host Sammy Thunder here today to provide initial impressions of a new acquisition of mine, which is the brand new Seiko Alpinist exclusive to the Australasian market. So it's available in Australia and New Zealand. You can still get your hands on one now if you're within Australia. They're currently being sold by the Seiko boutique and other authorized dealers throughout. So I'm here to provide initial impressions. I have actually unboxed this watch myself and I've had it for the last 3 days. I have owned a Seiko Alpinist before, so I would just like to provide my in-depth analysis on the watch already, because there really isn't much to talk about except what it's like to own this kind of watch. It is a limited edition watch of 1,000 pieces. It features a very unique red dial, and I think this is where Seiko really shines, is in the dial manufacturing. So let's get into it. So this is the box you get. It is actually a very nice box. It is a faux leather box. It's nice, soft to touch. It's special, but don't really care much about it. So here in the box you're notified that it is a Prospex watch and it's a limited edition. And this is the watch itself. It has a nice white faux leather pouch, and yeah, the RRP on the watch is 1,250 Australian dollars. It is it's a $1,000 plus Seiko. It is $50 more in cost to the regular production Seiko Alpinist, such as the green dial version, the green dial reissue, and here it is in the flesh. And my thing about Seiko, why I purchased this watch, is because I've actually been in the market for a red dial Seiko, or Grand Seiko, sorry, and recently Grand Seiko have been doing quite a lot in red dial with the manufacturing, in their latest spring drive caliber. Not even just that, they have a chronograph, you got the Godzilla, and I really actually appreciate when Seiko does a red dial. And this is the main reason for me to actually purchase the watch. If it was like another color or whatever, I probably wouldn't have gone for it, because I really like the way Seiko or Grand Seiko does red dials. And I think in the last 1 year, Grand Seiko have been pumping out quite a lot of red dials. Now, back into the watch. It is the SPB489, limited edition to 1,000 pieces, and it features this stark red dial. Now, in different lighting conditions, the dial appears a bit different. So it is actually in a lower lighting condition. It is definitely a red color that is not a bright red. So it's more slightly muted in those conditions, which I really like. It is a very classy watch, and in my own collection, I actually think this watch evokes a lot of luxury by the way it's executed, and you can kind of tell just by looking at that dial. And I hope this camera is doing it justice, but you can see that it features a vertical wavy pattern, and it's quite nice. It features a sunburst pattern as well. So when you're in bright sunlight, you get a nice bright red, and when in the right camera angle, or the right angle of viewing the watch, the contrast with the gilt numerals and indices and the cathedral hands, it looks really nice. So that's one of the main things here, and I hope my camera here is doing it a bit of justice. So in a low lighting condition, and I'll put this on my wrist, in a lower lighting condition, as you can see, it is a red dial, but it is much more toned down. So it looks marvelous in actual low light. But then you give it a bit of light, you can see that wavy pattern, and you can see the degradations from black to red, black to red, black to red. And then you give it a bit more light, and it's just, wow, lusciously beautiful. And I think this is probably the main reason why you'd want to purchase this watch, is because of the dial. So this is the watch on my wrist. I'll put it on properly. It's currently configured in this Japanese way, where you have the tang buckle and the exposed strap facing towards you. But I will change that, and I will change the strap eventually. And yeah, this is the watch. This is the SPB489. I like the use of the red, the gilt. The text is done in a white color and looks really nice. It is a charm to look at, and I think this is the main thing. At the end of the day, it is still a fair and square Seiko Alpinist, and the watch was reissued a while back, and there's a green version, there's a black dial version, the shark tooth, and then there was a cream dial version, the champagne dial. So I used to own the white dial ivory Alpinist, and moved on with it, and now I own this watch. Now, what else can I say about this watch? I've owned it for 3 days. So if we look at the specs of the watch, I would say that it is a 13.3 mils of thickness on a flat sapphire crystal with a magnifier. Its diameter is a nice 39.5 mils of diameter, and its lug to lug is standard 46.4 mil. It is a Seiko Alpinist, and you can reuse OEM bracelet from Seiko on this. So the OEM shark tooth Alpinist bracelet can be used on this watch. Maybe something I might consider in the future, but for now I am getting a Bark and Jack Black NATO strap, because I just wanted to really just try that out. Very universal watch because it has a 20 mil lug width, so you can easily swap the straps out. Now, in terms of the precision of the watch, it is a 6R35 caliber that features a date, and you've got the date magnifier there. What do I think of this watch accuracy wise? It is a robust caliber for sure. It features a high power reserve of 70 hours or 72, around about that. Features manual winding as well, automatic manual winding. But in terms of accuracy, look, this is a luck of a draw. You could have a watch tolerance, so the tolerance of this watch is between plus 25 to minus 15 seconds per day. So I mean, you could roll a dice, you could get plus 25 seconds a day, and it's within Seiko specification. So if accuracy is something that bothers you, then you need to think about it. Now, of course, I think a lot of people who buy this watch are aware of Seiko. They are a fan of Seiko as a brand. They are aware of Seiko QC at such a price point. People are aware of this. A very typical example is, if you have not already noticed, the compass bezel. You probably noticed that west, east and south are not aligned, and this is something that you should be aware of, and is a common issue with any Alpinist. Is it an issue for me? No. Will I ever use the compass bezel? No. But if this is something that triggers your OCD, this is something you probably won't go for. So this, in my opinion, this is a kind of watch that you go for if you really, you're really passionate about the brand. You love what Seiko does with the dial manufacturing, because it is a very high level dial, highly executed dial, as you can see, with that, wavy pattern. It's kind of got that Aquaterra teak deck style with the black and red. So the way they've done that and executed is just solid. It is a marvelous looking watch. It's based off the Australian desert. Now, I don't care one bit about what it's based off. I think this is probably one of the only decent limited editions from Seiko for the Australian market. So I'll support them. I'll get the watch. I like the watch because of the look. Main reason is because I really, really like red dial Grand Seiko, and now I own a red dial Seiko, so we'll see what that does to me in the future if I still want something from red dial from Grand Seiko. This dial is done extremely well. It is a special watch. The strap on the watch is a calf leather strap with embossed like alligator pattern. If you want to buy the strap separately, it's 227 Australian dollars. So yeah, I'm not actually sure if this is alligator on the top or it's just it's just calf leather with an embossed pattern, but it is a decent strap. When configured right on the wrist, it wears quite nice. I believe some people have said that this strap is a little bit on the firm side. but it's not as firm as some other straps I've tried on other watches. So yeah, I mean, it looks good on my wrist, I'd say, and yeah, I do enjoy wearing it. I definitely have purchased another strap, so as I said, a black NATO strap. Could also look at a bracelet option, could also look for other leather straps. So I might as well, you know, do that sometime in the future. So yeah, in my opinion, like the strap, it's an okay strap, but yeah, of course I plan on moving it onto another strap. Now this is a Prospex watch, it's a professional specification, so it is 20 bar, it has a screw down crown as well. Of course, with the Alpinist, you're obviously getting very good case finishing as usual. You have a, you know, bevel from here, and then high mirror-like polish to the side as well. So you got that beveling. You have a mirror polish here, as you can see. I like to always do this test to show you that it is actually very, very finely polished. And this is a $1,250 watch. It's pretty good. And you know, it's got some complex finishing, complex machining, and then you look at the lugs itself, and it's got that nice bevel there. If you look in between, within the inside of the lug, so it does have quite a complex finishing for it. But this is a standard affair with any Seiko Alpinist. It's just a well done watch. A lot of people will say, okay, it has QC issues. You know, with the compass bezel, oh, the accuracy is poor. You know, this is obviously a watch for either someone that is already aware of it or someone that this is not a deal breaker for, right? Because it is kind of cliche at this point to hear about quality control. And at this point, like, if I don't see a misalignment on my compass bezel, you know, people joke about saying, oh, is it even a Seiko if it doesn't have that QC issue? But I want you to know that the sapphire crystal has anti-reflective coating inside, and you know, they thought about it. You know, like, they have such a nice style, give it anti-reflective coating. They've succeeded in this part. It is a, you know, beautiful watch paired with a nice strap. You'll enjoy it. It's a utilitarian watch at the end of the day, but it exudes class. It in fact looks like the most expensive watch in my collection based on, you know, the elegance of the cathedral hands. You could dress this up or make it a bit rugged, which is probably what I'm going to do with the NATO strap. It's just a standard black NATO. So yeah, like, issues exist with watches, and another complaint is that people have, oh, it's too expensive. Yes, you know, prices have gone up, inflation is a thing. And yes, you could have picked up the original Saab 17 back in the day for $300 US, so probably around 450, 500 Australian dollars. I'm talking about, you know, maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago, you know, that kind of time frame. Yes, Seikos used to be cheap. The Seiko 5s back in the day, you know, $75. A Seiko Turtle like 10 years ago or something like that, $100 US. I saw a box of an old Seiko Turtle, but you know, you can't start thinking that, oh, it's a $100 watch, but you're not thinking about that. It's not it's a $100 watch from 10 plus years ago. Inflation is a thing. So I'm not trying to justify the shortcomings of this watch, but if you think this watch is too expensive, then it's something you probably shouldn't even consider buying. And if you're unhappy with the QC issues, then obviously this is something you don't get, because luck of the draw, if precision is a thing for you, you either get, you know, plus 1 second a day, or you could get plus 25 seconds a day. Now this example is actually running, I think I did a test on the first day, it was running plus 18 seconds a day. I don't know how good I did that, but essentially I timed against time.is after a 24-hour period. But then the second day, I reset the time, and it's been like, what, 20 hours ish, and it's around plus 6 seconds a day. So yeah, maybe the first day I probably didn't give it like a good enough winding to the watch, so that could be an issue there. But as I said, 6R30E5, robust caliber, accuracy, hit or miss. So either for the seasoned Seiko collector or someone that isn't bothered by these gripes. I'd say my only gripe is that with these straps, they probably should have included a easy swap mechanism on the strap itself. So, you know, you can easily do strap changes. That's really about the only flaw I have with the watch. The Cyclops is not a deal breaker for me. But personally speaking, I could do without a whole date complication on this watch. It's just a very beautiful watch, and it's well done. The strap's fine. I have number 779, so yeah, it's a nice piece. And these are my initial impressions. Is it worth buying this watch? I got this watch at a discount, probably like 20% off, but like you can easily get regular Alpinists for 800 Australian dollars or less, brand new. It really depends. Do you want this red dial? And for me, I did, and that's why I purchased it. If you're here to purchase it and flip it within the Australian market, that would probably be a failure. But if you go on eBay, you'd probably get someone on the international market who will probably pay either RRP or more for it, because, you know, 1,000 pieces in Australia is quite a lot, right? I didn't buy this watch to, oh yeah, far out, you know, I'm gonna immediately flip the piece. I'm here, I'll enjoy it. I want the red dial, and that's the main thing. You know, when I'm bored, maybe in the future, yeah, I might flip it, but I don't think I'm going to get all my money back. It really depends on how this sells. And look, I went to the Seiko boutique as well, and I'm not joking, 10 sold in front of me. I was there for 40 minutes and people just rocked up. People love the Alpinist. It's an icon. Called different ADs and they're like, look, non-stop phone calls. So I don't know how many they've sold, but every time I went into the boutique, someone's buying an Alpinist. It's just crazy. Someone is there, you know. It's a nice dial, it's a nice watch. If you can get over the shortcomings, which is primarily compass misalignment and the movement accuracy. And to me, movement accuracy, look, at a high price, a very big gripe, but at a low price margin, I don't really care. I have a chronometer in my collection. I've got more accurate serious watches as well. I mean, this is a serious watch as well. It's just not as accurate as those pieces. So yeah, this is my insights on the SPB489 Seiko Alpinist. Thanks for watching.